Hi, everybody. This is the lecture on true colors, and I had mentioned I was going to give a brief and succinct version of several videos during this term, and this is one of those videos where this is the short version. So let's jump right in. So you're going to take an assessment called True Colors in the class, and you will get a result that tells you which is your top color, which is your next most top color, and then the two lower colors that you have less of. And some people get an across the board very similar result, meaning you don't have a lot of variation in your scores. And that is probably the best news you could get, which means that you kind of rely on all of the colors rather equally, and so you're very versatile. So I think that that's probably the best way to be. However, most of us tend to be higher scores in certain colors, and all the colors are represented in us, just so you know. But if you tend to be one color more, like it's a lot higher than the others, then that means that you probably have some parts of your personality that might need some work. And again, you know that personality is changeable, so you can always develop or work on the areas that aren't as good. So let's go over what the colors mean. So if you scored primarily orange is your highest color. That means you are very outgoing. You're a people person. You love people. You're a hands-on person. You like working with tools. This could be like musical instruments, or it could be like your typewriter or computer. It could be you like to work on cars, or you're good at putting things together. You might be good at construction. You might want to be an electrician or something like that when you grow up. Basically, you're good at hands-on activities. You can put things together. And you're really good at talking people into stuff, meaning you're good at negotiating. And so you'd probably be good at sales or something like that. Oranges do not like to be told what to do. And so you like to do things your own way. A lot of times people might see you as irresponsible, but the truth is, like, you're pretty good at being responsible with the things that you care about. It's just when other people put their stuff on you that they want you to do, you don't want to do it. So oranges are kind of the players of, all the colors are the ones that are kind of like, the womanizers or the manizers or whatever you want to call it. These are people who have a hard time, sticking with one person unless they are really truly in love, in which case they're going to give that everything to that one person, and it's going to be amazing. They do love giving gifts. Like, extravagant gifts are their way of saying, I care about you. All right. So moving on to the next color, I would say, well, let me circle back just a sec. For oranges, they're also very disorganized. That's really a key trait, is that their system of organization might not make sense to other colors because they may know where things are, but they're losing things a lot, and they're not always paying their bills on time or on time with things. Maybe they're not as good at time management initially as some of the other colors. Okay, so orange. Now we're going to move into gold. So golds are responsible. They're kind of the opposite of oranges in a lot of ways, meaning they're responsible, they're on top of their stuff. They're the kind of people that use a day planner, that make to-do lists, that are organized. They like to get things done ahead of time. They are the kind of people that alphabetize their book collection. Maybe they take care of their belongings by meticulously cleaning them or making sure they're all in the right order. They like to line their stuff up and make sure it's all there and reorganize it all the time. That's golds. Golds are the kind of people that they're very loyal to you if they like you. If they don't like you, you might not know it. Whereas with oranges, like, if they don't like you, they're probably going to let you know in some way, maybe aggressive way, maybe a passive aggressive way. But golds are very much the kind of person that they like to be appreciated for what they're doing. So if a gold is helping you with something, just give them lots of praise about what they're doing, and they will do anything for you. Golds do like to be noticed for what they're doing. So if you see a gold doing something right, let them know that you notice it, and they will love you for that. Golds are they are in charge of their self. They're very responsible. They're the kind of person that's on time, that would actually show up and be there for you at 5 a.m. to pick you up from the airport. They're the kind of person that you can count on for that kind of stuff. They're also the kind of people that are detail oriented, meaning they look at the details as opposed to the big picture, whereas oranges are more big picture people and less about the details. So golds like to have a structured schedule where they do kind of the same things over and over again the same way. So they like repetition and they feel comfortable with a routine, whereas oranges hate routine and they don't like doing the same thing every single day. Okay, so oranges and golds are basically opposite sides of the coin. Golds are really responsible and on top of their stuff. Oranges tend to be a little bit irresponsible and not on top of their stuff. Okay, So moving on to our next color, which is green. Greens are unique. And so there's a lot of oranges and there's a lot of golds, but there's actually very few greens. They're the least represented color. And blues, which we'll talk about next, are also not as represented as golds and oranges. However, they are very important to our society, and I want you to understand why. So, greens are actually intellectuals. So, they're the kind of people who like to do research. They might research something kind of forever and not make a decision. So, like, for example, maybe they want to research what sort of car they want to buy next, and they might spend like a year researching and test driving cars before they actually make a choice. Their choices will be like an orange would choose like a fast car that's flashy, a gold would choose a responsible car that has good safety ratings and gets good gas mileage, whereas a green would be looking at all of the factors that go into purchasing a car, and every green might have different things that they're looking for. Greens are unique and special, meaning they don't really care what other people think. So, like, oranges might say they don't care what people think, but they really do. Golds care what other people think. Blues also care what other people think. Greens, they really don't care, unless you are someone that's really important to them. Greens, if they really love you, they might tell you one time and expect you to sort of know that from that point on. To get them to say I love you all the time would be kind of ridiculous for them. They wouldn't feel that that was necessary, and they might even refuse to do it. So greens also don't like being told what to do, a lot like oranges. Greens like to do things their own way with their own methods. Sometimes people don't understand these methods and they get frustrated with a green, but truly greens will not do anything unless they want to do it. And there's nothing you could do to make them do something that they don't want to do. So nagging them is actually going to make it take longer for them to do that thing, because out of principle, they might just not do it just to spite you. Greens are the kind of people who march to the beat of their own drummer, meaning they're all interested in what they're interested in, and they will be extremely into researching, doing, and involving themselves with the things that they really love. And again, that varies very much across greens. So greens, because they're so unique, they kind of do things their own way. That's okay. Greens usually prefer to work by themselves individually rather than in a group. And they don't like relying on other people. So they tend to be loners and sort of to themselves. Okay, so moving on, blues. Blues are very emotional, and they're kind of the opposite side of the green coin. So I would say green and blue is sort of opposite. So whereas greens like research and they're more logical minded, greens are very logical and they like to do the step-by-step research process and learn about things that they're interested in. Greens might do really bad in school because they don't want to research what the teacher tells them to research. They want to do their own research on what they're interested in. But blues, on the other hand, they really like to please. And so they're the kind of person that can only really learn from a teacher that they really feel connected with on an emotional level. Blues can read emotion. So they can look at a person and just kind of know how they're feeling. And so if you have a friend that like just asks you out of the blue, like, are you feeling okay today? You look a little down. That's probably a blue. If you get a gift for no reason, just out of the blue for something, it's probably from a blue, because blues are always thinking of you if they care about you, even if you're not there. And they want that reciprocity, meaning they want you to let them know that you care as well. So if you're a green listening to this and you have a blue in your life and they're always saying, I love you, and they are wondering why you can't say it back, just say it back and like you will make their life. Okay. So the thing about blues that you should know is that they are drama. Like they cause a lot of drama. They like drama. They thrive on drama, and they love solving and saving the day when it comes to drama. They're the kind of person that loves to listen to other people's problems, help out, be of service. They're the kind of people who are saving the gnatcatcher from getting killed, or saving bunnies, saving trees, saving gas, saving the greenhouse emissions, and stopping global warming. They're for a cause. They're about causes. They save puppies and kitties from being killed. They are just very caring and loving people. They live from the heart. And a lot of people might see them as weak because they're so emotional. But the truth is, blues are actually extremely strong because they know how to process deep emotions. Blues are good at things like, being therapists, teachers, things like that. So golds and oranges are kind of the opposite sides of a coin. Greens and blues are the opposite sides of a coin. However, you have every single color inside of you. And the way that your colors are expressed depends on what your first couple colors are. So let's say your first color is gold, but your second color is green. Then your gold would look different than someone who has gold as their first color and blue as their second color. Does that make sense? So it's kind of a synergistic effect depending on what's first, second, third, and fourth. So you're going to need to know this information for this week's discussion, or this just may be supplemental for your class. So whatever you have to do with this information, please take a look at your results. Make sure you test yourself, and make sure that if you don't understand or you want more information, please watch the longer video that's from a few years ago where I go into excruciating detail about each one of these colors. Okay, so I think I've covered everything that you need to know about true colors in a very brief way. If you have an in-person class with me, we will be discussing this in further detail. If not, then this is all you're getting. And so if you need more information, go watch the longer video, and I will see you guys next time. Okay, bye.